Welcome these two teams back. Representing the Board of Janesville Youth Baseball, it's my pleasure to congratulate all the players and coaches for a job well done. In our 57-year history, these are only the fourth and fifth teams to advance to a World Series. Gentlemen, you're here because of your coaches, your parents, your grandparents, aunts and uncles, siblings, who have supported you through all the practice time. The 13s have had this speech several times from Coach Davey, and they've been very good about thanking people, and all of you need to do that tonight. You would not have this experience if not for all those adults that supported you. I can speak for one of those people who went to a World Series in 1966 as a 15-year-old. We played in Douglas, Arizona. It was one of the best experiences of my life. Those people on that team are still my best friends. We still communicate. Next year will be our 50th anniversary of going to a World Series. Coach Dan Madden, who coached at Parker, was our coach on that 15-year-old team, and he and I had discussions this weekend about having a 50-year reunion with that team out here at the ballpark sometime next summer. So cherish these memories. When you go to these tournaments, you want to play hard, but have fun. Enjoy the experience. The community of Janesville, Board of Janesville Youth Baseball and Softball Association, and I know I'm speaking for your parents, are all very proud of you for all the hard work you've put in to accomplish this. Thank you. Now, Tom and Matt, it's your turn.
Well, I was preparing that I might have to say a few words, and my dad is probably one of the best public speakers I've ever known, and he always writes stuff down. So when I was supposed to be working today, getting caught up for all the time I've missed at work, I did jot a few things down, and really all I have written on here is thank you, and it's basically a list of people that I want to thank, and I hope Connor just asked me if I'm going to get choked up again, because I've had an occasion to break down a little bit after some big games, including yesterday, and I think I kept it together pretty well, but if I stop and hand the mic to Tom, who I'm sure will be a much better speaker, that's why. First on this list, and she's down here huddled down with her little camera, is my wife. I put her first because, one, I didn't want to forget her, and two, I figured that if I get to the bottom of the list, and as a kid, she grew up, she would go on these trips and go to Yellowstone and camping every summer, and since we've had kids, her summers have consisted of going to demolition derbies at the park where we're at and whatever tournament we're playing that weekend. And so I know it's not her favorite thing, but I know she loves to be with her boys, and we make the most of it, make it a vacation wherever we are, and we've been to quite a few of these regionals and quite a few of these World Series, so I thank her for that. I'd like to also personally thank my three coaches, Tim Adams, Steve Perkins, and my dad, Ed Street, who keeps a mean book with stats coming out of everywhere you'd ever want to know. Like I said, I'm not sure if any one of us individually would be a great coach, but I think as a team, we make a great team, and we work our butts off for these 12 boys, and we have all summer, and we did it last summer, and that's what it's all about is these 12 kids here. I'd also like to thank the JYBSA program. Obviously, without them, without this facility, without all you parents and everybody who's volunteered hundreds and hundreds of thousands of hours at this park, at board meetings, at endless committee meetings, everything involved, it's amazing, and we couldn't do it without the support. When I travel around to tournaments, whether it's just up in Waupun or down in Vincennes, they know about the Janesville program, and it's an envy of programs around the country and around the state. They wish they could have a program with this many teams, this many kids, and they tell me that all the time. We have all these travel teams and elite teams popping up all over, and I'll tell you what, these kids, I guarantee this is what it's all about here, playing for your hometown with your buddies, your schoolmates, and that is an envy of, like I said, all these teams that we play, and it continues to be, and we should be proud of that. I'd also like to thank Tom and Jim Cullis. I grew up watching these guys play and coach, and I sat out here in this bleacher and watched Tom run a practice or two, probably 2-3 years ago before I even coached tournament teams. I learned from them, and I appreciate all that you guys have done for I don't even know how many years, and I'm humbled to be standing here on this field with you guys as well, and I appreciate everything you do. Other coaches, I started off coaching the Angels 6 years ago with a schoolmate of mine named John Hill. I learned how the program works, how you make up a lineup, how you get everybody in the game and all that stuff. Watching guys like, Brian Bailey, Pat Campbell, Jimmy Coulter, Tony Coulter. My former coach of the Cardinals was Jim Tatter. My dad was a coach on that team. Bob Suter, Tom Callwitter. Those are all guys that I took a little bit from, and I hope that became a better coach because of guys like that. Obviously the parents, grandparents, brothers, sisters. I know I have 4 boys, and they don't like going to their brothers' games, but these little girls and watching their bigger brothers play, and that's just the best part. We took a picture last night out in front of the scoreboard, and there was probably 60 people with parents, and to echo what Steve said, as it wouldn't be possible without them. One last thing, or actually a couple last things here, and I'll get out of here. Just a few stories from the last couple weeks. I got, I wouldn't say a little bit of flack, but when I came back from the state tournament, there was this rumor that we ran up the score on Stevens Point, and apparently somebody called to complain. And I just wanted to briefly share a quick text I got about 4 hours ago from the head coach of Stevens Point. If I can find it here. He said, Matt, congratulations. Tell the boys at Stevens Point says congratulations and to stay hot. One more tournament to go. Team on 3. Make Wisconsin proud. Text me your next game dates and if there's any way to watch it. Where is it? If it's within 6 hours, we're coming. So, and that was a team that we outscored 40-4 at the state tournament, and we played them twice. And those guys, kind of became friends. We were staying at the same hotel as them, and like I said, there was a mutual respect there that, they admired us, we admired how their kids played, and that's something that happens all the time as we play games. And one last story, we were walking, I think my dad and I were walking between the semifinal and the final game, and one of the umpires, they bring in the umpires from all over, and he came up to me, he was working the championship game too, and he said, if I don't get a chance to tell you this, Coach, after the game, no matter what happens, he said, I've really enjoyed umpiring your kids' games. So the way your kids play, with respect for the game, and their sportsmanship, he said that's something to be admired. And that was something that really meant a lot to me. I thought, no matter what happens in this championship game, that's what it's about. And while we won this tournament as a team, every one of these kids I could tell a great story about something they did either on or off the field or at the hotel or whatever. There's one kid that I just want to point something out to tonight, and we have a kid on our team who's going through a lot right now, more than a 10-year-old should be going through. And this kid caught 11 innings straight for the semifinal and the final game for us. In 90-degree heat. And that same umpire came up to me and said, that I love all your kids, but that Brett Lucas, your catcher, he's something special. And I said, you got that right. I said, he's a gem. And I said, he'll work his butt off. He'll do whatever you ask him to do. And so, Brett, we got a little token of our appreciation for you of all your hard work this weekend. 11 innings. I'm not kidding. He was sweating. He was sweating through his catcher's gear. Every inning I said, Tim, we got to get him out of there. And I said, I'm probably going to lose my Ripken coaching certificate if I catch him another inning in 90-degree heat. Caught 11 straight innings, hustled in and out, made every play we asked him to make. Oh yeah, I didn't even mention that. Second inning of the semifinal game, he's yelling, get my dad, get my dad. I don't know if he needs a water or Gatorade. He's having a little mini asthma attack. He needs his inhaler. And Don, who says he hasn't used the inhaler in 2 years, still's got it in his pocket, gives it to him, and he's ready to go. We delayed the game a couple minutes. The ump said, hey, you take as much time as you need. And that one incident, like I said, I could say a similar story about every one of these kids over the last 2 years. The way they play the game, and the way they work, and the way they bond as a team, it's amazing. So That's all I got, and I'll turn it over to Tom. Thanks.
Well, I would just like to start to say that I'm truly humbled to be standing here today in the presence of our community after the generous display by the police and fire department to get us out here today, well deserved by both teams. I do want to thank them for doing that for us today and taking their time out of their work day to do that for us, to lead us out here. 10-year-olds, we want to congratulate you on a fantastic tournament run that you're on. I think the fact that your championship game was close and was in doubt to the very last play probably made you a stronger team. Those close games will really push you over into being an elite team, and maybe you've taken a step that way. While Brent's standing here, Brent, give me one more hug here, buddy. I got to get a hug from Brent. Brent's been around me for a while, right, Brent? Regarding our 13-year-old team, we did have a successful Ohio Valley Regional Tournament in our own hometown. There is one thing that I realized yesterday after we won the tournament that had been lost upon me before that. Back in the 80s, we had hosted state tournaments very often at the old facility, and we hosted into the 90s a little bit, and then we started hosting again a few years ago out here. In all the years that I had coached and we had hosted a state tournament, never had won a state tournament in Janesville. Always finished second every year, and this year was also, that was the case. So for a first Babe Ruth tournament to win in Janesville, I'll take the Ohio Valley Regional. Just some thank yous that I have to make sure get said. First of all, Matt Street is our tournament director for setting up all the lead-up tournaments over the course of the year. It's endless hours of work. He puts in so much time, it's mind-boggling, and he is so efficient in how our lead-up tournaments get run. Matt, great job, and it's appreciated by everybody that's associated with the program. Next, I would be totally remiss if I did not point out again that the tournament that was held here this weekend and the weekend before with the state tournament was put on by some individuals of our board of directors that put in countless hours of work. It is not lost on our team, or especially myself, that if we had not hosted the Ohio Valley Regional this year, we would not have played in it. We did not win our state championship. Doug Madsen, Steve Ellis, Ron Kramer, Aaron Ellis, numerous other individuals, the Optimists for doing the gate, the grounds crew. There's too many to mention, but everybody that's involved in this program put this tournament on, and they put it on for the benefit of these young men here. I'm proud of our guys for taking advantage of the opportunity that was given to them by the individuals who did all of this work to make it possible for them. I really would like to give a round of applause to our whole board of directors and the people that ran the Ohio Valley Regional. I do want to next thank our parent group. I've been coaching many years. I have seen the good, the bad, and the ugly with parent groups. This group we haven't seen any of the latter of those two. We've only seen the good. Our parental behavior has been fantastic. Our parents get along with one another, and I do believe that they understand our team concept. And to our parents that have been to all these tournaments with us and committed all the finances, all the time away from their families, to our parents, our team says thank you. I do want to thank my assistant coaches, TJ Bell, Nolan Stearns, and Jim Kaus. It's a pleasure having them with us. Again, like Matt said, we feel that we make a great team as coaches. And with Nolan, you know, I was blessed to be allowed to coach out here when I was a very, very young man. which I no longer am. And I was given that opportunity by this very program. And it makes me very happy that Nolan is doing something similar that I did when I started coaching. He's a fantastic kid to have with us, just an outstanding young man, and I'm just so happy that he's next to me in that dugout. TJ Bell has actually been involved with baseball for over 25 years in Janesville. TJ's my right-hand man. He does all the grunt work. He does the unglamorous things, and TJ's just fantastic in that aspect. It's just an asset to the team to have him there. And lastly, Jim Kaus, who I played for in Babe Ruth on the 1984 state championship team. We went to our Ohio Valley Regional. We weren't fortunate enough to win it. And Jim has coached for many years, as we all know. And in 1979, the Janesville 13-year-olds had won the Ohio Valley Regional that was hosted in Janesville. But the start of the World Series for 13-year-olds was 1980. So that group did not get to go to a World Series. So Mr. Jim Kaus will be taking his first trip to a World Series this year. And with that being said, I think Jim wanted to address the group.
Well, there's a saying, into each life some rain must fall. Well, there's going to be some rain falling in yours right now. I used to be a Dizzy Dean fan when he was announcer of Saturday baseball. And when things got a little bit dragged out, he'd sing a verse of the Wabash Cannonball. I started singing that. I sang it to thousands of kids. They gave me a reputation for it. My voice is old, it cracks, but you're going to hear it anyway. Our team, we sing songs on our team. I think we're powered sometimes by song. So I want you to listen to this, and if a little bit of this wouldn't bother you, go ahead and do it. Well, she rolled into Birmingham a cold December day. As she pulled into the station, you could hear all the people say, there's a girl from Tennessee on, she's long and she's tall. Well, she came down to Birmingham on the Wabash Cannonball. Now I want you to keep clapping, and I want you to listen to the next words carefully. TJ, come here. Now here's to TJ Bell, may his name forever stand. May he always be remembered on time and throughout our land. When his earthly cares are over and the curtains around him fall, we'll carry him home to victory on the Wabash Cannonball. And for those of you that don't know what the Wabash Cannonball is, it's an old steam train. And I know these guys, none of them have heard of it before.
I would just like to close by addressing my team. Boys, I thank you so much for the time that you put in this summer and the commitment to the team. And the hard work that you put in paid off this weekend. But even had we not won that game yesterday for that championship, I would have walked out of here feeling 10 feet tall because of how you have grown as young men and what I've seen in the last 10 weeks with you over this summer. You've committed to playing team baseball, and some very, very important things happened in that game yesterday, and not all of them were good, but some very, very important things happened in that game yesterday, and you played as a team. And I hope that you take that with you, whatever our experiences are going to be from here on out. But if we keep the team concept, you are so strong as a team. I'm proud of each and every one of you. I can't put into words how proud I am of you for the commitment and the effort that you've given to us. I love each and every one of you boys. I think you are just a fantastic group of boys. I'm so blessed to be able to coach you. I'm honored to be your coach as we go into New York. I'm just so proud of you, and thank you for everything that you've done, boys. I'm proud of each and every one of you. Remember, when we go to New York, we are going to represent this community in the best and classiest way we possibly can. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Tom, Matt, especially Mr. Kaus. I've heard that song many times and always enjoy it. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. Boys, good luck. Have fun.
One, two, three, take